Hey, what's going on, guys? It's King Andy here, and welcome to the fifth episode of the Clash Cup podcast. As always, I'm joined with Destiny. How's it going,
Hey Andy,
Destiny?
thanks for having me back.
And this week, I also have on the Golem God himself, Loncharnett from Synergy. How's it going, man?
Hey Andy, thanks for having me on.
No problem. So, we're going to be recapping week 8 of the Clash Cup and talking about our predictions for next week. But before we do that, let's take a look at the standings. So, this week, Undefined leads the table in Group A, sitting at 65 points. Group B, Intellectuals is on top, 66 points. And for Group C, EGS is first with 64 points. So I'm not really surprised that Undefined is first in Group A. They've been dominant all season long, and I think they're definitely in contention to make finals again in playoffs. For Group B, I'm kind of surprised that Intellectuals will most likely be dropping to fourth since they have a break next week. And they're first this week just because they played more matches than any other team. And they're first right now, but next week when all the other teams are playing, they're for sure going to drop because they're not first by a lot. They're only ahead by like 3 points. And for Group C, I'm not surprised that EGS is first either because they had a strong performance all season long as well. Maybe up there with Undefined. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you with Undefined. I mean, they're undefeated for a reason. Like, they just have a stacked lineup. They can do anything for 2v2, 1v1 King of the Hill. I'm pretty sure we all know that. For Group B, I stated a couple weeks earlier that, Intellectuals wouldn't hold that number one spot. Because, again, Rising Sun Alpha, they played a game less, or they have played a match less than Intellectuals. And they've been really dominant as well all season long. So definitely Intellectuals, they are in that top spot right now, but again, they won't be there for long, especially with how the other matches will be played out. And EGS Phoenix, yeah, I totally agree with you as well. They've been pretty dominant. Them and Rising Sun, Beta have been really, really good. It'll be, interesting to see who takes that number one spot for Group C. But yeah, basically everything from Group A to Group C is pretty much expected. No big surprises coming down the stretch of this final week.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like the top teams that were predicted to finish high from the beginning of the season are still at the top right now.
Yeah. And so going back to week 8, I think the highlight match of the week was on Undefined versus Instinct NA. The results weren't as close, but the matches themselves were really good. So let's go ahead and start off with 2v2. Undefined actually has a pretty good 2v2 record. I think they're like 8-1. I could be wrong, but I know that I don't think they lost a 2v2 set yet. So yeah, Undefined has definitely been dominant in the 2v2 set. For 1v1s, Undefined, they lost one of their 1v1 sets. I believe Alice Sheehy lost against Street Junaid, and then they won against Darien, which was surprising. I thought Darien was gonna continue to like perform really well and possibly beat Kyle's record, but Darien has lost 3 now, which he can't beat Kyle's record anymore because Kyle only lost 2. And for King of the Hill, it was close. It was a 3-2 win. So yeah, I think the 2v2 was the one that separated those two teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not really surprised that Undefined beat Instinct though. Like, I didn't think it was actually going to be that close. I thought Undefined was gonna dominate. Basically, I actually thought the only set that Instinct was gonna win was with Darien against Zigzag, but I was wrong about that. But I mean, other than that, they did lose. I mean, they did win only 1v1, so I guess I was right about that. But like I said, Undefined is just too stacked, and every aspect of rosters that can be made with 2v2, 1v1 in King of the Hill. So yeah, it was a pretty dominant win for Undefined. King of the Hill was a little bit close though. That one was kind of up in the air. Both lineups were both really good, really stacked players. So those were some fun matches to watch. But again, Undefined was just able to basically clear the whole board, get 10 wins that were much needed, and they basically secured first place at this point.
Yeah, I think Undefined fixed their mistakes from last season because as you remember last season, they had strong 1v1 and King of the Hill, but their weak point was 2v2. Their 2v2 was definitely above average, but they just weren't enough to keep up with you and Shadow and like all the other better 2v2 duos. But now they got Coolsoul and Beakfast this season, so yeah, they definitely been dominant.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Qasim. He unfortunately lost against Plan B this week. Plan B won 2-1, and that means Qasim is no longer eligible to get the Invicto award. So Destiny, I know you said Plan B was going to take the win. Do you just want to like maybe explain why now? Because obviously it ended up being true.
Yeah, well, Plan B is just like I faced him a couple of times. Like, I feel like I faced him once when I was in the clan because he's in the same clan with Kenda Swagger, so that's a pretty big name, and he's a really good player. So he gets a lot of practice there in Ladder Gods. He's an insane bait player, probably one of the best in the world with it. So Plan B is just really, really good with bait. He's just really good with many different archetypes all around. He's a very knowledgeable player. And I just thought he would just be the toughest opponent for Qasim, and that I thought he would, at least take one game away from him. So I didn't think that Qasim was gonna win the Invicto Award at all with Plan B, even though I was rooting for Qasim. But yeah, just like I said, Plan B's a really top tier player. He can consistently get top 500 finishes whenever he wants. He just sometimes doesn't play ladder that often. But yeah, Plan B is just a really talented player. And at the end of the day, he just played better than Qasim to get the 2-1 set win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Plan B is definitely someone that does pretty one ladder consistently, especially with log bait. But against his matches, he didn't use bait
he
once,
didn't.
so
Yeah.
he's definitely versatile. He used Golem, so definitely knows a lot of decks. So the last match I want to talk about is Synergy versus Oso. So, in unexpected turn of events, Synergy actually won their 2v2 set against Oso, and Oso had one of the best 2v2 duos in the league. And Synergy only won one 2v2 set ever, and they lost every other one. So Lon, just talk about your 2v2 this week, I guess.
Okay, so basically, we were experimenting around with different 2v2 duos throughout the whole season, and none of them really seemed to work. So last week, Blink just decided to put me and Loris in there, and then we couldn't even get a time to practice. But so we just played a beatdown in the match, and then we actually won both games.
Yeah, I mean, beat down pretty solid 2v2. So, and also got a little creative. I believe they were using Balloon Graveyard.
Yeah,
so
and they
I
had
don't know what they were trying to.
Some minor bait deck too. That was second game. I think. First game, Balloon Graveyard is a weird deck.
I think that's part of Oso's secret as to why they're doing so well. They're using untraditional decks, but surprisingly effective, and they're catching.
Yeah, I think Balloon Graveyard could have worked because Poison was banned, so Graveyard is good, and then I'm pretty sure they got Freeze as well, so they can freeze for both Balloon or the Graveyard.
Yeah. All right. So taking a look at the standings, I think Undefined at this point, mathematically they haven't secured a playoff spot, but logically I think it's safe to say that Undefined is guaranteed playoffs. Wouldn't you guys agree? Top two.
Top two? Yeah, I think they basically got top two.
Yeah, they basically top two. I mean, I'm willing to say number one. They're going to finish number one. Number two is going to be a battle between Blitz and Instinct because they're tied right now. And getting number two is huge because you get to play for that first round bye in playoffs. So, I think Shadow definitely sent out a really good lineup as well as Knight. So we're going to see. I mean, to be fair, though, I think Instinct has a tougher opponent. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, they have Tribe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tribe has Roof. Tribe, especially with the new pickups, Rubik's and a phase up, I think Tribe is definitely a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think Undefined has number one locked up already. As long as they get like just a few points in their match this week.
Like 6 points against
Yeah.
Quantum will guarantee.
And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think Blitz will take the number 2 spot because they play against Oso, which is a weaker opponent than Tribe, which is what Instinct is playing.
And Tribe is still technically fighting for a playoff spot, right? Because
Yeah.
if they win 11 points and, Funny Bones, like, totally messes everything up, they can get, like, 57 overall. And Funny Bones would need to at least get 3 points, so...
Yeah.
Tribe is still...
If we can get 4 points against Synergy, then we secure 4th place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, if Tribe wants to have a chance, they have to clean sweep Instinct and root for Synergy to beat us in every single set.
Yeah. But Tribe still definitely has something to fight for, so I think they're going to put their best effort, hopefully, against Instinct. But we'll see. But yeah, I think we can definitely take the second spot because, like you guys said, Instinct definitely has a tougher opponent in Tribe. But I mean, you never know. Oso is still pretty capable. I'm still worried about Carlos for King of the Hill if they decide to put him there because he's still a good player, but like again, he hasn't really performed that well this season. So everything is still in a sense like up for grabs. But I think Undefined will still take that number 1 spot, and I think that Blitz will take second, and then Instinct third, and Funny Bones fourth.
Yeah. So going into Group B. I think the top 4 right now is going to be the top 4 going into playoffs. I'd like to see Chaos make it, but I think they're just going to fall short in 5th. I mean, they could, if they do well against Rising Sun Alpha, they could knock out Intellectuals and take 4th. But the chances of that happening are low, in my opinion, because Rising Sun Alpha is no team to be slept on.
No, yeah, definitely, I agree with you. Yeah, I just can't see Chaos like beating Rising Sun. They've never lost. Like Rising Sun hasn't lost. They've tied, and then everything else they've won. So I don't really see that happening. Like I don't see them taking a loss against Chaos this week. So I think top 4 where it stands right now for Group B is going to be the top 4 also heading into the playoffs.
Yeah. And for Group C, it's a little hard to tell. Group C is all over the place because we had 2 teams leave in that group as well, and so like some of the results are a little bit inflated. So like we have EGS. I think at this point they're confirmed top 2, but we never know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Group C is really close. Electric is currently in 3rd right now, but I think they're gonna drop to 5th because Shaheen plays next week and Electric has next week off. So I don't know if Shaheen doesn't get at least 6 points against their next opponent, they could miss playoffs, and Electric barely gets in, but. Yeah, time will tell with that group for me. I think Turney definitely makes it there as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think definitely Turney is gonna make it. Of course, EGS Phoenix will be top 2. Yeah, so Shaheen's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I feel well in a sense I'm rooting for Electric, just to stay in and everything. But I mean, it's definitely possible that Shaheen could get 6 points. And then can overtake and get a playoff spot. But I'm gonna say I'm actually still gonna stick with the top 4 here from Group C. That this top 4 is gonna be the top 4 that's gonna make it into the playoffs.
So you think Electric will barely hang on to 4th?
Yeah, I think they will barely.
Yeah, because if Shaheen doesn't do real well next week, they're just gonna miss playoffs.
Yeah.
So. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about. Since we have you on here, Lon, why don't you talk about like your Synergy's mistakes this season? Because like obviously since the beginning, me and Destiny have been saying, "Oh, put Link in 1v1 or King of the Hill," but like you guys stuck him in 2v2. So like, do you know like what his thought process was of sticking himself in 2v2? And
yeah, well, for like the first few matches of the season, I'm not sure because he just played the 2v2 with Vizigzity, and I didn't know if that was the best idea because they're both really good at 1v1 and they weren't really like winning consistently in 2v2 either. So then Link decided to try playing 2v2 with me, and then we had some success, but like we thought Link would probably still be better playing 1v1. So like I guess we sort of wasted Link playing, like letting him play 2v2 for like most of the matches in our season. But we were just trying to figure out how to, like, what our best 2v2 duo would be, because 2v2 earns more points than 1v1. So it's a really important set.
Yeah, that's true. I think if you guys figured out your 2v2 duel earlier, then maybe you guys would have been in top 4 by now. But you know, it's your guys' first season, so you know you learn. You go into next season.
Yeah.
You fix your mistakes. Yeah, so you guys are one of the teams I definitely think you guys can bounce back. I mean, getting 5th place, potentially getting 5th place is already good enough after being at the bottom of the table for so long.
Yeah, we sort of got matched up with like the top teams in the group first, so we weren't really able to get higher up the standings later on.
Yeah. And you guys had to break your first game, so.
Yeah, so we were like always behind. Like whenever I looked at standings, I'm like, oh shoot, we're last still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so let's go.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. So Dustin, do you have anything to say about Synergy?
I mean, like, just basically adding on to what's already been said, like, you know, Andy and I have wanted Link to be King of the Hill for the longest time because, like, again, I just thought that, like, regardless, since 2v2 wasn't really producing, like, any points, like in some weeks you guys, like, didn't even get a single win, and you just basically, like, wasted players in a sense, kind of like what Midwinter did with, you know, Venom and some of its other top players. They were basically just there to rot. And so if you would have just, like, not in a sense put a weaker 2v2 duo, but if you would have just allocated Link maybe to, like, or if Link would have just put himself in King of the Hill earlier, or 1v1, you guys probably could have gone, like, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 points back that are desperately needed right now for you guys. So I think, yeah, really just 2v2, you know, was probably just the biggest mistake, I guess, in Link's part, because he could have definitely been used in 1v1 on King of the Hill. And, I mean, yeah, like, you guys can just, like, maybe doing some more practices, like when you guys hold scrims or everything, you know, scrims within your esports organization just for 2v2 might have been more beneficial for you guys earlier in the season. But yeah, definitely some I guess poor choices you know, of 2v2, like players putting in there probably costed you guys the season.
Yeah, I guess this season was more of like a experimental season for us. Like we were just figuring out how we should do things. Like Link like played everyone in 1v1 in King of the Hill just to see how they do. So like he would know who like is better on the team, and I'm sure we'll be better next season because we're gonna merge with Cosmos for next season.
Oh, exclusive information. I was not didn't see that coming.
Yeah, we'll be called Cosmic Synergy for next season.
Yeah, Cosmos is a tier 2 team. So are you guys gonna still be in tier 1? Or
yeah, we're thinking about having one
2?
tier 1 team and 2 tier 2 teams.
Yeah, nice, makes sense. Cosmic Synergies Academy.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about our predictions for next week. So next week is obviously the final week. I believe Luciu, Intellectuals, and Electric have this week off, so their scores on the board right now are final. It can't go up, it can't go down. So that's where it stands for them. I think the match we obviously mentioned this earlier, but Blitz versus Oso and Instincts NA versus Tribe will be huge because that will determine who gets second. Funny Bones versus Synergy, that will determine who gets fourth. As far as Group B, Chaos versus Rising Sun, like we said earlier, that'll be a deciding match as well. And for Group C, I believe Shaheen versus Easy Peasy, that'll be a deciding match. So a lot of important matches next week. So what are you guys' predictions?
So I'll start off with, the real ones out here. Blitz against Oso. So 2v2 again. I don't even have to waste my time with 2v2. You already know what's gonna go down.
It's Oso. They could catch you in class.
I mean, they have a good 2v2. I'll give them that. But I mean, they get swept by Synergy's 2v2. So that kind of drops the confidence I have in their 2v2. But I have all the confidence in the world with my 2v2, Gino and Clash. I mean, those guys are insane. So we're gonna hop right into the 1v1s. Balkeith took an L for once in his set last week, but I think he's definitely
he dropped 2 sets in a row. He lost 2 1v1 sets in a row.
Yeah, I mean that's just a small slump though. I mean Balkeith will get back to his winning ways. Eddie, like I said, Team Liquid Academy experience. He's a pro. He's just gonna dominate the 1v1s. And King of the Hill, we have the exact same lineup. I'm pretty sure our lineup right now for this week is the exact same as last week. So Shadow.
Your lineups are up.
Yeah. So Shadow playing first again. The big boy trying to get some dubs early. It depends. I don't know. I haven't checked the lineups right now. Let me just check that real quick. If it's Carlos at the beginning, then
yeah, it's Carlos.
I might give the dub.
Yeah.
It is Carlos. Sorry, Shadow, but I think Carlos is gonna clap you pretty hard this first game, which is good because we have Shamix, and I think regardless if we get to Shamix is just gonna beat everybody. So I'm gonna predict a nice 11-2 victory for Blitz.
You said that last week, and you got and 10-4 was the final score. Okay, so.
Well, it was pretty close to 11. I mean, we were 1 point off. Balkeith couldn't get that extra win, but it's all good. I definitely think we're gonna take the dubs this week.
To give you credit, though, you were right about last week. But Shamix closing things off. You didn't have to play. Are you thinking the same this week?
Yeah, Shamix will do the same thing.
I mean, Shadow versus 7LB Carlos is going to be a good one.
Yep. If he uses Mortar, if he beats Carlos with Mortar, I will literally lose everything, bro. I'll be ecstatic, but I won't give him any money because I don't know, bro. I don't have that. I don't have deep pockets this time, bro. So I can't give him extra $5. But even then, he's not 18, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. But a Mortar win against Carlos would be pretty impressive, but I don't see it happening. So I think Shamix, once it gets to his turn, cleans everything up. Yeah.
All right, cool. So I want to talk about Funny Bones versus Synergy. This is going to be a good one because if you guys didn't see the lineup already, we banned Golem in every single set because we knew Link was not going to play in 2v2 after their success in Loris and Loncharenett's performance last week. So we're Link is either going to play. We thought King of the Hill, but he might pull a curveball and play in 1v1s, but he didn't. So we just banned Golem in every single set just to be safe. And yeah, turns out he's playing King of the Hill. I'm going to predict that we're going to win 2v2, 2-1. And I think we got I mean, Dazixity is pretty strong in 1v1, so I think we're going to lose that 1v1 set against him. CB has been performing really well lately, so I think he'll take his 1v1, 2-1 against Atro. And King of the Hill, I'm going to call right now, Surgical J is going to sweep. What do you think, Lon?
Well, seeing that you guys haven't even locked up a playoff spot yet, I don't know why you have to BM with the Golem bans, but I think...
Bro, it's not BM, it's just we banned Golem against the Golem team.
Yeah, bro. But it's not like everyone plays Golem, and we can play other decks. Well, I can't, but
I know.
We have people who can. Well, okay, so...
But Golem is against Destiny, in season 2, I lost him because he used Golem 2 times, and then last season we banned Golem, and then Destiny got all scared. And then so it's like the Golem ban works.
We'll see if it comes back to haunt you guys, because
We'll see.
yeah, I'm not gonna tell you too much because we're playing you guys, but like I'm not sure if that the Golem ban was the best
You're
idea
gonna
for
pull
y'all.
curveball. Yeah, you guys gonna run Giant Skeleton Clone Mirror, like just try to catch us off guard.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, you know, with Link going first and Surgical J going first, whoever wins that, I feel like will run the table. Surgical J being a King of the Hill god, if he gets through Link, I'm feeling confident he'll get through everyone else. So yeah, that's basically gonna do it. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
I say, you know, Blitz makes it to the final.
The final, dude. This is not the playoff predictions video. You know.
No, I know. I'm just, you know, easing the tensions for the haters that are doubting us right now. You know, we're gonna run it up.
I mean, I'll give you this. If you do get top 2, I'll increase my what do you call it? Senses of you guys making finals. Yeah, fate. Ooh. But if you guys don't get top 2, then you know you gotta play an extra match, and that's, you know, it's one more shot at losing. So you gotta. I don't know, man. Last season you guys lost in semis. I feel like you guys are capable of getting to semis definitely, but it'll depend. I mean, it'll depend on if you guys can make finals.
Yeah, but that was because it was the 2v2 was on me and Shadow. But you know, we won't make the same mistakes again. I mean, even though we don't play 2v2, but like
Gino and Flash.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's the one thing. They're gonna bring us over to the top. We're gonna make the finals.
Bro, I'm trying to think who can compete with Gino and Flash. But honestly, I think Coolsoul and Beakfast.
Yeah, they're the only people. They're the only people I see that can compete.
I feel like everyone else they can beat anyone else on any given day.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, man, I can't believe it's like the second to last podcast. Next week will be the last one, and then next is the playoff predictions. So,
yep.
Time goes by fast. But anyways, that's going to be it for this week, guys. I'll have loncharnett's and Destiny's Twitter and YouTube channels in the description below. And yeah, thanks again for coming on, guys.
All right, thanks for having us, Andy.
No problem, Andy.
All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.